Do you know that marriage affects or impacts your ability to create at a high level, your ability to create your vision or achieve those goals and outcomes that you set out to achieve? Hello, my name is Jamila Idris, and I help high achievers like you create a life of fulfillment and meaning by creating deep connections, alignment, and harmony. So let's get into it. We know how some people will talk about marriage as if it's an extra baggage, like something that distracts them from their goal or their vision. And it's something they shouldn't really engage in, or it's for some other people who don't have dreams and visions and things to do, or things to achieve rather. And this is not true. So even though I am one of those people who always advocate for women or even men, basically individuals, to get to know what their purpose in life is, to get to clarify what their vision is before they get into marriage, it is important to emphasize the fact that marriage can make or mar your purpose or the vision you are setting out to achieve. And I'm not going to be focusing on the negative effects of marriage. Today, I'll be talking about the positive impact of marriage and how you can leverage on marriage to create an amazing life, a life of meaning, a life of fulfillment, and at the end of the day, achieving your most desired outcomes and vision. So, what is marriage? Well, in the Quran, God says marriage is established for the two people in the marriage to find tranquility in each other. That means both of you are providing each other with support that you need. You're finding peace in each other. So it's not just about, looking at what this person gets to give you alone, but what you also tend to give, or what you have to give to the other person to ensure that you are creating a wholesome relationship. Now, a lot of people get into marriage thinking about what the other person stands to give them, and in this case is usually financial. Then you wonder why we have a lot of relationships that are not going well, or how a lot of high achievers get married and have like a trophy wife that they don't have any sort of connection with, which also impacts their ability to create results and achieve their goals at the end of the day. As women, now I am going to be touching some very sensitive topics. As women, we need men. There is no doubt. As men, you also need women. So everybody needs each other. Now, we cannot overemphasize our roles in each other's lives, but that doesn't mean that we should feel more important than the other person. And as a high achiever, if you're yet to get married, it is important that when making that decision, you are focusing on building a relationship with someone who has some level of alignment with you, someone who has similar values and vision. So you are both working towards a similar vision. So you don't want a situation where you're getting into this partnership with somebody who is going north and you're going south. You want a situation where you're both headed the same way. You have shared vision and shared values. And I often say that people don't fight, values clash. When you get into a relationship with someone who you don't have shared values with, what happens is that you would always experience resistance. There's always going to be a clash, and that results into, conflict in your relationship and eventually a relationship breakdown. If you're experiencing a relationship breakdown in your personal life, what happens is that it's going to affect your ability to engage in activities that will help you achieve those goals or your vision, or create the change you want to create in this world. As a woman, we often use men as a protection, in the sense that if, let's say, you are in a place where a man is trying to make advances at you, even if you're not in a relationship, you either say you're in a relationship or you're married to get somebody off your back. Or let's say you are in an Uber ride and you discover that the Uber driver is acting very sneaky. You would fake a call to a fake husband or a man that is waiting for you at your destination to ensure that this person is aware that somebody, a man, is waiting for you somewhere. That way it provides you with protection. Now we have cases where men, in fact right now we have a lot of high achieving women who don't have male companions, because a lot of men were brought up with the mindset that all a man is good for is his ability to provide financially. Provision is not only financial. This situation or this scenario or this example I just made mention of how women deflect back to men for some sort of protection is also a form of protection, not finances. The fact that a woman is making a lot of money doesn't mean that she doesn't need a man in her life. The main thing is for you to see yourself as a person of value. A lot of men have been brought up with the mindset that all a man is good for is his ability to provide financially, and this limits men or even limits their ability to see everything they are capable of doing in a woman's life beyond finances. A lot of women are earning more money than men today, and I believe this is one of the contributing factors why a lot of women are single, because we have a lot of men who feel incapacitated to take care of these women. So it is not just about your finances, it is more about you embodying this protection role, knowing that your ability to protect isn't just limited to finance. There are other ways you can provide her with protection, like just being in her life and really being present, ensuring that maybe wherever she's going to, you are just by her side. That is also a form of protection. For a lot of women, it's really not about, well, a woman who is working on making her own money, she doesn't make her relationship decisions based on your ability to provide for her or not, because she's already bringing in the money in the relationship. So she is looking for other things that she cannot get for herself. And this is also me calling out to men to ensure that they build themselves up and invest in themselves so much so that they don't limit their worth to their ability to only provide financially. So when it comes to your earning capacity as a woman, you need to come to terms with the fact that some of the men who are on your level who are on your earning level may not meet your needs in a spouse, and they may also be looking for younger women or women who are not earning as much as you, and that is fine. We are all entitled to our preferences and our decisions at the end of the day. So it is up to you to be more open-minded. You don't have to wait to get married to someone who is older than you. What happens to somebody who can provide you with the support you need and then you are older than the person? Who says you need to get married to somebody who is older than you as a woman? So we have a beautiful example in the life of our noble Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who got married to his wife at the age of 25 while she was 15 years older than him. And this is the woman that got to give him all the children that he has or that he had at that time. So it's really not about you being older than the man. The main thing is his ability to lead you as a woman. Does he have the skills and competences that you need to be able to thrive, that you know that you can go into a partnership with this person? Do you have similar values and vision for your life? If that is settled, it becomes easy for you to build a relationship with this person. But if that is not there, even if the person is older than you, you may not be able to create a thriving relationship with the person. When it comes to building a thriving marriage that will help you achieve your highest potential, there are 5 S's you need to put into consideration. Let's get into it. So the first S is support. You need to get into a marriage partnership with somebody who you can support, and somebody who can support you and somebody you can support, because it is give and take. You don't only focus on what you get to take, but in fact, if you're more focused on what you have to give and the other person is also focused on what they have to give, you'll build a wholesome relationship. And as high achievers, I always recommend that you get married to a fellow high achiever, because that is the only person that will understand why you need to work long hours, why you are not comfortable with the regular, and why you need to keep pushing the goalpost and aspiring more for your life. So you need to be able to provide each other with the support that you need. This is very key, and it is rooted in you having similar vision. So there is this mentor of mine, Dr. Tracey, who has gone on to build a jewelry business that has an income of over $100 million, and she has a very supportive husband. This man advocates for her. He gives her the support that she needs. When she goes for events, he goes with her and he engages in conversations on her behalf. In fact, some of the things that she forgets about, things that she has achieved or what things that she's working on, he is the one that constantly reminds her of, those things that she is forgetting. So as much as possible, we need to be able to provide support to the people we decide to go into this partnership with, and be that person who can provide the support for that other person. The second S is sacrifice. Now, sacrifice doesn't mean you should always, hurt yourself or put yourself last while you only focus on pouring into this person. Rather, it is about making compromises where needed to ensure that you accommodate the other person. Where, let's say, for instance, you have some work to do, but you aren't as busy as your partner, you see the need to sacrifice your free time, or some of that time you have to rest to step into doing some chores or some other activities that your spouse will be engaging in. This way, you're also showing support, but you are sacrificing some things that are important to you without compromising yourself, to ensure that your partner feels comfortable and their needs are met as much as possible. The third S is sympathy, and this is all about showing empathy and understanding. If you have a spouse who takes care of you, ensures that you have good food available, and there comes a time where probably they are not in the best state of health, you show empathy and understanding without making unreasonable demands on your partner. Rather, you step in where you have to. Even if you haven't experienced the pain or the discomfort or situation they are going through, you put yourself in their shoes to ensure that you're providing them with the support they need at that time. So empathy and understanding is very important to help you build a thriving relationship with your partner. The next S is security. Now, this is financial security, emotional security, and all of that. Some people call it protection. Well, this is what we call protection. And like I have pointed earlier, it goes beyond just finances. Now you can even provide emotional support. Your home, your relationship should be a safe haven where you and your spouse can go out into the world, face the world, come back and feel some level of peace and comfort. You shouldn't start another battle in your home. I know it's easier said than done, but again, where you get into relationship, or where you get to a relationship or partnership with somebody who has shared vision and shared values, it is easy for you to manage conflicts, and this will make it easy for you to provide the security that you both need. So as the man, you are not just providing finances, but you are also ensuring that your partner, your spouse, is in the best emotional space, ensuring that you provide them with everything they need to be able to function optimally. And as the woman, you're also providing your husband with some form of security. You're ensuring that you're not spreading things about him. Of course, there are some sweet gist that goes on between spouses, and sometimes he may share some very sensitive information with you. His secret should be safe with you. Whatever you discuss with your partner, with your spouse, all those pillow talks should be kept between the both of you as much as possible, in order to protect him in your own way. So you can also provide your spouse with emotional support by ensuring that when he goes out and comes back, and he's not, probably maybe he experienced a failure or a loss, you're able to nurture him and provide him with the emotional support he needs at that time to get out of that phase as much as possible. The last S is self-care. If you are able to take care of yourself, you have the right practices in place, you would also create an environment for your spouse or your partner to be able to take care of themselves as well. Ensure that you include different self-care practices in your routines for your relationship. If you're unable to rest and recharge and rejuvenate as much as you should, what happens is that you would get depleted, you would get burnt out, and you won't be able to achieve your goals outside, and then you experience an emotional breakdown inside. So as much as possible, we need to consciously and intentionally seek out relationships that align with our vision and values. You cannot change anybody. Yes, some people would love you enough to want to change for you, but then you cannot bank on that. That is something that is outside of your control. Yes, you can also influence somebody to have a change of, mindset, beliefs, and action, but that is also up to the person. A lot of people have gotten themselves into relationships where they were hoping that the person would change when they get married, and things only got worse after they got married, and this begins to affect their performance and, at the end of the day, their vision and outcomes. So in order not to put yourself in that difficult situation where you need to start going through divorce proceedings and all of that, you want to be able to start on a good foundation. A lot of high achievers lose huge amounts of money when they go through divorces, and I wouldn't want that to be you. I know you don't want that for yourself. So as much as possible, marriage shouldn't be a poverty eradication program or a rehabilitation center. We owe it to spouses, our partners, or our future spouses and partners to work on ourselves, to work through our traumas, to heal as much as possible, to invest in ourselves, to meet them whole and complete. Nobody is 50. We all want a situation where we meet each other at our highest capacity, so that we bring the most value to each other. You don't want a situation where you're expecting 50-50 from somebody that only even has 10 to give. The relationship dynamic is, even when you go in as 100, there are times where you only have the capacity to do 10, and if this person is whole in themselves, they are able to pour into you, and vice versa. But it is very, very important that we take care of ourselves, we get clear on our vision and our values, so that when we are making this very important decision that can define our lives, literally, we are able to make it with clear minds, without hoping for things to go right, even when we see the warning signs before going in. I hope you found this useful. Do well to comment, share, and subscribe. Bye.